Alright, so we are going to be doing a brow tutorial today. Always start with the primer, so I use the Brovo conditioning primer. I want to just, comb it through my brows. So this one is lengthening and strengthening the brows. So the hairs that I already have, it's giving them nice, more length. So if I accidentally trim them incorrectly or, just do something unnecessary as hell to them, this stuff is going to bring me right back. Yeah, and it has like these nice little bristles that would like massage into the skin, and I love it. So you just make sure you get it all in there. I like to swirl it around a little bit because massaging penetrates hair growth. That's why they do it. Make sure you blend it all out. You want to make sure it's nice and dry before you start filling in your brows, because I feel like my brows, they don't like me a majority of the time. So if they have like any little to it, so you want to make sure you comb them in the upward direction first, because we're going to start on the bottom. So today I'm going to be using the Brow Styler in shade number 2. So what this is, it has a wax tip, which I only use the wax tip. So it has like a, so it's very similar to the Goose Proof or the Brows, what is it in Anastasia? I don't know, it's like her thicker brush. I forgot the name of it. It's a wax tip. And then on the other end, it has a powder, which I don't really use the powder too much. I really use this one for the wax tip because it's a lot more thicker, and I feel like my brows are a little bit more on the flatter side, so I don't need all that powder. Okay, so what I do is there's that natural line there. I tend to just follow it, and I keep little hairs. I don't know if you can tell, but there's like little hairs that I keep when I get my brows done to make sure I still follow that line. So again, just follow the line. And this has cool undertones, so it looks really light, which I personally like a more natural light brow. So you see I followed that line right under, and then you don't have to do this step, but if you need to make sure you see that line, always brush down and follow that line on the top there too. And then I keep hairs here. I necessarily don't need these hairs, but I just keep them just in case. Because you know what happens? Some days you have like a thicker brow. You keep them. Today, it's not looking in my favor. So, there. We got an outline brow. You brush your brows back into place. Make sure they're how you want them. Not that it really matters, but just have them there. And then you just start coloring in the brow. For me, I don't really care how clean or messy it is. I just do it. And then you see like that sparseness. I really just make sure I get in there. And it's all wax, so again, it just keeps those hairs nice and flat. The spoolie of it, like brushing it out like this, kind of lifts them. But yeah, I like. And then there's brow number 1. This brow, I definitely need those extra hairs. I don't know if you can see them, but there's extra hairs, and I definitely need them on this brow because my brow is shorter for whatever reason, and it doesn't like to, do what it's supposed to. So again, just following that line. And just filling it in where it's sparse. And again, we don't care if it's messy or uneven or, lopsided or whatever. Just fill it in how you like it. Try not to put the mirror so much in there, but I kind of need it. And my hairs are longer over here, so I don't need to put too much in the front on this. Cool. And that is my brow. So now I'm going to go in with my Studio Finish Concealer. It's by MAC. And it's like a little pod. My top broke, so it looks really like a little paint pod. They have paint pods. This is not the paint pod. It's their little concealer. And I use NC20. So I think when I have their foundation, I use NC30. You want to do your concealer like 2 shades lighter. So I believe it's like NC20, NC25, NC30. I think, don't take my word for it, but I think that's what they did. But this always, I've been using this concealer for years and it's always been my color. So good. NC20 MAC Studio Finish Concealer, SPF 35. Ooh, that's probably why my brows stay popped up. At this point, you want to clean your spoolie and just make sure your hairs are in the direction of where they need to be. Because you want to make sure you really see that line. So what I do is I use this concealer brush. It is the Morphe M432. This is my favorite brush. Can you see those numbers? M432. But it has like a flat surface. And I lather it on both sides. So it's on there nice and coated. And what I do is, again, I just follow that line. But for this, you want to give it space to really define the brow. So just watch and learn. And that's the bottom. And you can always just bring it down. You know, if you see any like clumpy or thickness, just bring it down. Some areas you want to kind of keep it thick to really highlight that brow bone. That's why you use a lighter color, to really, you know, make that area pop and stand out. Yeah, so for the top, again, all your hairs need to be brushed into place because you want to see where you're going to be creating that fuller brow. Boom. Then you take your blending brush. I don't know, this is my concealer blending brush. This one's by Real Techniques, their purple one, and it's called Deluxe Crease Brush, but I didn't use it for the crease, I use it for my brows. I use it to basically blend or buff out any concealer. So you want to kind of blend it out. Any harsh lines, go as close to the brow, but you want to kind of leave it where you see a little definition, because again, it makes the brow bones pop, gives that definition to the brow. And yeah, and that is my brows. That's how I do it. So for this one, I get a little awkward and I put my hand under my elbow to like hold it, because I feel like my table is too low and I'll be like this. And you guys need to see it, so I need to go up a little higher. So like just to make sure, because boom, my brows are my brows today. They working. So for this kind of thing, like you see, I didn't kind of pull it down just so I don't mess up like the definition of the brow. I always just bring it down and then, you know, kind of get real close, just so like when I blend it, I don't really get close to the brow, but I got it out as much as I could, all in thickness, heaviness, you know. And then boom. So I see that this one's a little bit more sharper, so I'll go back in with my pencil and kind of round it out over the concealer. Just because we want, clearly we're going for a rounded brow today, or that's how my brows want to come out. And then, like I said, you just go back and forth with pencil, concealer, and then boom, we have a rounded brow. And again, pull out, I see it's a little thicker here for me. Just gonna pull out any excess. And then, you know, buff it out. And then, yeah, so we have two really good brows. Yay, I'm so glad when I recorded they wanted to be, you know, my friends today. And that is how you do your brows, baby. Oh, don't mind me. Brow gel. I switch back and forth between Billion Dollar Brows gel. I like it. It's a little bit more softer. But I feel when my brows turn a little bit on the grayer side, I use a little something more heavier. But today, you know, we're going to do both of them. I'm going to, and then this is the 24-hour setter by Benefit as well. Y'all know I'm a Bene babe, so I got everything Benefit. Sorry in advance. Actually, it's mostly just brow products that have Benefit. Everything else is a little bit diverse in my drawers. Yeah, you want to get those hairs. This one, again, is a lot fuller in the front. Not so much this one for whatever reason. This brow just hates me, but it's okay. You see how these are hella long, but I'm not going to cut them. And boom, baby, those are my brows for this fine, beautiful Monday morning. Yeah.